there a mash bill on it?
73% corn, 12%, 13% soft red wheat, 12% barley.
Oh, really? Where'd you find that? I was looking for it.
It's not on the bottle.
No, I know, but I was looking for it on the thing. Where did you find that?
I probably read it on Breaking Bourbon. Just have it committed to memory.
Yeah, you have those committed to memory really well. Like that's the one thing, like you can spit those off so quickly, it's unreal.
I'm sorry.
No, I said it's good. It's good.
No, what I heard was, you're so on this. Welcome back to Whiskey Happens. I'm Garrett, that's Travis, and today we are talking about a bottle. I don't know about this bottle, but this brand is starting to catch on, and I think that Holladay has put together some interesting bottles in its lineup so far.
Yeah.
I have been, or last winter, I was nipping on the Rickhouse proof and loved it. Today we're going over the Bottled and Bond series. And I also hope this becomes a trend in other, I want to call them a craft distillery. I know they've been around since 1856. I've never heard of them. But
well, it could be too that a lot of time it's just being more prevalently carried here in Texas. It's Texas is funny about what they carry.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how it goes about in Missouri either. This is where this hails from. I do know sometimes people go back to their, like, it's been sold 15 times, and then they go back and they still claim, hey, we're still blah blah blah, which is fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
Travis pointed out to me right before this, it's sporting the DSP number 5 on the back, so there's at least 5 other distilleries in
Missouri
that are possibly older than 1856.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting. Like, for me, this bottle, so I love a good play on a bottle. Like, there are a lot of bottles out there that are just basic, and then there's the ones that are over the top. This one is perfect, in my opinion. And it's funny. People are like, oh, who gives about the bottle? Well, like, if you're trying to learn a little bit more about bourbon, the fact that on the side they have this sticker that tells you when it was distilled, what rick house, when it was bottled, and also what floor, along with some of the other things, age 6 years, all of those items on there, what the proof is. I love that because it makes it easy for someone who's a novice just to go in and say, is this something that I would potentially like? And you can read those right there, and it would help you make a decision. Plus, look at this. Did you see that? It's a twist off.
Yeah, I do enjoy brands that celebrate transparency and where the product's coming. Obviously, New Rip is a person is a brand that we heavily associate with transparency and their practices and things of that nature. And I guess Holladay is right up there with them as far as... Actually, I have a question for you, because you said it, and it's on the bottle. Yeah. Is a 6-year age statement enough to get people rowdy, interested, because it has age statement on it? Obviously, Bottled and Bond only has to be a minimum of 4 years. This one is 6 years. Time in a bonded warehouse. But, for example, Blanton's is rumored to be between 6 and 9 years, or 6 and 8 years, I forget. And it doesn't have an age statement on it. And I think that if you put a 6-year age statement, possibly, on not just Blanton's, any of these allocated bottles that we covet so much. Like, if you found out that OWA was 4 years old, or 3 years old even.
Yeah.
You'd be like...
Well, I think it's interesting because I think if you're a craft distillery or an up-and-coming distillery, I definitely would put it on there. I think it helps people because, especially if it's age statement of 6+ years. Now, if you're doing a 2-year bourbon, I mean, plenty of places put it on there. Plenty of places in Texas put 2 years or 3 years on their whiskey, and people still buy it. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But I love it because it's just easy to kind of just go, okay, so it's been aged 6 years, and it's good. The bigger thing with this and what they're doing is the soft red wheat. That's cool. Like, we're seeing a lot more of, and obviously I think they've been doing it a lot longer, but we're seeing a lot more trends of artisan grains, artisan wheats, like all these different things coming out where they're not just using the same staple that has been used for years and years and years. So I love that.
I don't remember right off, but on their website, I believe they say something around like the grains have to be in Missouri to be considered Missouri bourbon.
Oh, I love that.
Or maybe it's the barrels. There's something beyond regular federal regulations where a majority of the product has to come from the state. And I think that could be a reason why they're using such a grain, because it does grow there. And
I love
would
that.
also like to throw this disclaimer out there. A lot of people get confused. A wheat bourbon or whiskey isn't necessarily a wheated bourbon or whiskey. Because a lot of people will try like Oregon Spirit and hate it and think they're going to get a Weller. And it's like, no, there's two different things going on there systematically. I know this isn't the place for it. Maybe on the podcast we'll talk about it in depth. Anyway, let's get into this nose.
Yeah. See, I love that the kind of sweet tanginess that you get from that soft red wheat that I've noticed a lot of the other ones having as well. Still Austin does a great job with it too, because Still Austin also uses 100% of their wheat and corn come from Texas, which I love.
Oh, it's not a whole lot that you're gonna say.
Yeah.
It smells like citrus zest.
Yep. That's
Yep.
I was gonna say orange. I was right there with you. It's got a very
like the
orange.
oils that come off like right when you skin it, and it's like the aromatics.
Yep.
I don't know. My brain's shutting down on me, folks. Followed by almond and a little bit of I want to say medicinal, but I feel like when I say medicinal, it sounds bad, but it's not in a bad way. Like, I enjoy this nose.
I do too. Well, let's get into it.
Taste. Instant cinnamon, plum. This is a fruity situation going on here.
I love it. I think it would turn some people off though at the very beginning. You have to give it a second, and the reason I say that is because of the cinnamon that you said. It's kind of spicy right at the front of it, but then it really mellows out. But I think a lot of people when they first taste it would be a little off put, but you got to drink it a little bit more because I definitely think that it's something that you'll really like after a few sips of it.
Yeah, the citrus comes through, and then like a nice burnt sugar brulee situation goes across the tongue. And this one doesn't stick long. Mm-mm. It's like it hits me about mid palate, and then it just is air. It's like, whew. And I like that. It's kind of refreshing in that aspect of. It's 100 proof, so it's not like you're like knock my socks off. However, the more even now as I speak, it's just lingering right there.
Yeah. It's not a big, bold flavor. Like, it's just not. You're not going to get, like, this big, bold punch. But what you do get is, like Garrett was saying, and I agree, it's one of those things that kind of stays with you throughout the entire process of drinking. So you smell it. You kind of still smell it when you're drinking it. You drink it. It stays with you. And as you move on, it just kind of, there's something there. It's hard to explain, but until you've actually had it, you'll know. And if you had it, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think about it, or if you've had any of the other spirits, we'd love to know.
All right, let's get them on some rocks.
Let's do it.
I'm just gonna go the whole thing in. Now, as I would say, I'm a friend, champion, if you will, for the 100 proof range.
Yes.
I said range. I lock in at 100 proof. I don't know what it is. I used to think I was a proof hound and I enjoyed the spicy stuff and hazmat stuff. But really, I really settle in. Like most of my collection is 100 proof. Like the bottles I buy over and over again.
Yep, you do. What do you think?
I said before there was the sugar and brulee thing. I think this one goes more towards molasses and sorghum. as far as like the deep, dark depth of the sugary note.
Yep.
And then I think the citrus leans more towards lemon here. And what are those called? Blueberry.
Okay.
I told you my brain was shutting down.
Okay.
So like possibly a lemon blueberry tart, right? Like
Okay.
it's dessert. It's sweet. It's what about you?
No, I agree. I mean, I think for me, it's a really easy to sip on. I'm deathly afraid of the Coke in this one when we go next because I think it's going to completely disappear because it is so light. But I'll be interested to see. I like it like this.
What flavors are you getting now?
I get a little bit more of that tangerine type flavor, but then I also get a little bit of the, when you were saying like richness, I'm getting not chocolate, but almost like Nutella spread. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you do a nice...
I've never had that in my life.
When you do
Never.
a nice Nutella spread, that's what I'm kind of getting with this. So
Like what are those things called? The thin
Hazelnut.
pancakes? Crepes.
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 That's fucking staying in.
I get cramps all the time. I don't have high hopes for this on a Coke, in a Coke,
Either.
but I'm already thinking that a vanilla Coke or a cherry Coke would be better. Dr. Pepper even. Actually, take that back. Mm-hmm. That is not bad.
No,
I would need to work on this ratio.
Yeah.
That's off.
definitely.
But
There's not enough of the bourbon in here. I can see it coming through.
Yes.
And I think it has to do with I keep reusing the same word, soft red wheat. I think it's that wheat. It gives it a different nose, palate, everything, and it just kind of elevates the Coke a little bit. And I'm impressed. I mean, I definitely think this is definitely one that if you were like going to a party or like a tailgate and you brought this and everybody was there, you didn't know if people were going to drink it neat on the rocks or in a Coke. I think this is a great one to bring.
Yep.
I think this would be an awesome one to bring because I think everyone would be happy and you could have it so many different ways that even you throughout the day, if you were at a tailgate, like this would be my tailgate bourbon right now because you could start off the morning maybe drinking it neat, and then move on to rocks, and then at the end of the tailgate before you go into the game, throw some Coke on it because in that way you're not just hammering straight bourbon all day. I love it. I think that would be really cool. I'm interested now to try the
Rickhouse proof.
The Rickhouse proof because you were talking so highly about that.
Yeah, I think anyone that saw me towards the end of January or beginning of February definitely now knows what the Rickhouse proof tastes like because I delved out all that I had left to everyone. He didn't ask. I had the bottle since no sir. I got the bottle last winter.
You know what the thing is
he was like, I can't be bothered with it.
I shouldn't have to ask.
Oh, don't give me that. No, sir.
All right. So how are you drinking it?
I'm going to say all of the above. Like Travis outlined, I think this is a great multi-purpose bottle. Like if you're going to a party and you don't know what people are into, I think this is an easy win. However, I don't know the distribution extent on this. It's here in Texas, obviously. But
And I didn't give the people at home the price. So the price is like $65. So it's not horrible. Like it's not very expensive. I wouldn't say it's cheap, but I would say it's in that realm. It's like $65. So I would pick it up again. I'll probably go get some of the other ones because they have a few other ones. So they've got the soft red wheat that is like Garrett had in the Rickhouse proof, the Bottle and Bond. Then they've got a regular Bottle and Bond series and a Rickhouse as well. So they've got 4 different offerings here. They could have more online. I actually haven't checked into that, so maybe we'll put something like that in the comments if they do. But it's definitely, I agree with you. But if I had to choose just one, I'm choosing it neat. Because I really like the flavor profile, but I agree. It's definitely one that I would take to a party, and maybe we'll take it to the next party we go to and see how it goes.
I think that if we're going, we have to pick one. I'm gonna go Coke. Like I did not expect that, and it was like I was already saying, "Oh, this is the wrong type of soda."
Yeah.
And I was very surprised and wrong. And I think this wouldn't replace my early times just because of the price point.
Yeah.
However, I think that this is perfect for people. If you're going to be in a large group, the $65 isn't a bad price if you're looking to please a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Because whiskey can be a very niche thing when you're going in between circles of people you may know, may not know, and trying to people please. So instead of wasting $45 on a bottle that no one wants, that does happen.
I think it's a great bottle to go if you want to go out on a limb and take it to a party like we were talking about, because instead of bringing something that everyone would know, like a Woodford or Makers or something like that a lot of people can drink on that all know that, this is a great one to bring that people might not know and to get people to branch out. So,
you know what? I want to be
Definitely
known
buy.
as the 1 liter Woodford guy.
yeah.
Because, any person, if you're at home and you're into whiskey, or if you have friends that are into whiskey, people who do YouTube about whiskey, they expect you to bring a showstopper every time.
Yeah.
And it would just be nice to set that limit. Oh, Garrett's showing up. He's got Woodford. And that's it. You don't expect anything else. If I show up with a Pappy, so be it. Oh my God, I can't believe you brought this. What's the special occasion? I don't know. I felt like it. Ran out of Woodford.
Ran out of Woodford.
But anyway, I think Holladay is on its way.
I do too.
Great find. Let us know in the comments if you've had it, of course, or if we should try a different one, or you want to see us review the Rickhouse Proof. And until then, it doesn't matter if you like it neat, on the rocks, or in a fucking Coke. Whiskey happens.
Cheers.